Howdy. Trying to put in one of the bigger window cuts here behind me. I guess you could call it the master bedroom. You can start to see the sunlight peeping up there through the top. Ran out of batteries in the small cordless metal saw I have. I'm going to get the sawzall out, give her a go. This one's going to be roughly a little over 6 feet tall and actually 10 feet wide. There's going to be 2 windows here, one big picture window, and then an egress window off to the left side of it if you're looking out. Got that window cut in, starting to kind of see this place take shape. Patio door, another bedroom window with a peeking behind there. You can see another egress window back on the back side of that bedroom. There'll be a nice patio out here. It runs across, covers the whole patio, has some furniture out there and whatnot. Then there'll be a walkway around in front of that window off to the back side where the hot tub's gonna go. Onto this next project, trying to put in a hole for the crawl space, so kind of making a hatch here. Just ended up cutting, just going right for it, cutting the hole directly into the floor. Did take out a little bit of structure, a couple C-beams there that run across. Those run across the little container. I'm gonna have to reinforce that, put some angle iron through there, and maybe even some other steel on the bottom, just to make sure all the structure is back in place. Here's the floor piece that was in there before that got cut out. Mixture of a circular saw and a sawzall. Just cut that right out of this baby. Alright, got this structurally finished up here. Ended up just using some leftover angle iron I had from the windows and kind of made a kind of top bottom piece that got welded on to the bottom C structural beam that runs across there. So that should at least stabilize it, provide some more structure. Got welded into the beam over there.
Hey guys, I'm back out here doing some more grinding on the container since it's a really nice day. I think we have 2 more nice days probably for the entire year, and then it's gonna get super cold, so I have to get as much as possible done in the next 2 days, and I thought that I would give you a quick look at what it actually looks like throughout the process. Okay, so obviously we're getting towards the end of the day. I have a great shadow right here, but this is what I'm working on. So it's the area between the red and the blue containers. These two are going to be pushed up right next to each other, so you're actually not going to be able to see any of the container walls, but what we're doing is still taking care of the rust because we want these containers to last as long as possible, and we don't want to have any problems with rust in the future. So it's nice because I don't have to have a super clean finish, and it gives me lots and lots of time to practice for all the other container walls that are going to be exposed and that we're going to have to do this exact same thing on and then prime and paint when the spring comes. So what it looks like, I'm using a wire brush with an angle grinder, and I'm getting all of the rust off, and it generally is taking me right down to the exposed metal here. And then after that, I go through and spray on some Rust-Oleum. Like I said, you can see it's not a super clean finish. This actually doesn't feel that bumpy. I mean, you can tell a little bit, but visibly it looks pretty bumpy. So we're gonna be using an orbital sander for the finish of the walls that are going to be exposed once we do this in the spring. We're hoping that'll give it a nice clean finish like we want. But you can see I have, well, you can't really see because this is a bad video, but I have all of this blue container done except for the very end of it, and then I am working my way down this red container. I hope to get halfway through the bottom half today. And then, like I said, I have 2 more days to knock out this whole container and maybe the roof of the red container. So wish me luck. All right, you guys, it's super gorgeous out, mid-60s, middle of November, but it is the Midwest, so times are changing, and it's gonna rain all day tomorrow, and then it's gonna be cold probably from then moving forward until the spring. So this is the last warm day. I'm still working on rust, nothing new and exciting. I am gonna finish up the in-between space between where the containers will touch, so that's really, really exciting. And then Austin and his dad traveled 5 hours up north. They're working on backfilling the foundation, so getting all that dirt and sand put back in so that the rain can compact it and make it nice and solid for hopefully in a couple weeks when we're able to drive the containers up there. So that's all I got.
Made it back up to Crosby. Things are looking good, foundation's looking dry, and we're gonna start to backfill. There are a couple wet spots where it got a little bit thick there, but I think overall the block's looking pretty dry, and I think we're safe enough to backfill right now. Got a bunch of sand behind me, Bobcat getting after it as we speak, kind of doing a little bit of backfill in there, and then we'll put in a couple more lines for utilities, and we should be ready to rock. Alright, about to put the well in here, or at least the lines for the well. You can see a trench along here. It's gonna end up being about 5 feet deep. We'll run some water lines and some power. That'll run over to the well, which will then go down, let's say 80 to 100 feet. Should be good around there. Hopefully we'll get some good water. So far I've dug a trench, slight trench up under the footing there. Started on the inside. You can see where the shovel is there. That's kind of marking where there's a tunnel going underneath the footing. And I'll kind of continue that this way about 20-25 feet and stub up right there. And we'll leave some sticking up there for the well folks to take care of. Closer look down here. You can start to peek through. You can see some daylight under there. That's where we'll be running the water line and the electrical. And that'll come up here. Up on the other side, this will be in the crawl space. And on this wall, there's gonna be some insulation first, but then we'll have our tanks for our pressure and maybe some water valve, kind of manifolds. Have all that stuff down in here. Got the line for the well ran. We went with 1 inch copper tube fit, or copper tube sized SDR piping, rated at about 250 psi. That's what the well person told us to grab, and we went a little overkill on the wire. We just had this laying around. It was just some underground 10-3. Way overkill. Probably only needed about a 14-2, but that doesn't mean this won't work. Copper prices are astronomical right now. So we just went with this, and it should be totally fine. Well, guy told us to put the water line and the wire in a 4-inch slotted tubing. Certainly overkill, but I guess makes easy installation. It's gonna nub up over there about 20 feet, 20, 30 feet from the house.
Alright, welcome back, guys. It is the first day that it's effing cold outside. It probably feels like 25 degrees right now. So you see we're wearing these fancy new outfits. You'll get a full picture view once we start working, but they're super warm. Not a fan of outdoor activities when it's cold out, so I'm really hoping that this new snowsuit is gonna make it bearable for me. But now that you know that our wardrobe has been updated, what are we up to today, Ast?
Sure. So it's freezing and it's windy, so I can't really do too much welding. We got 4 more cuts to put into the containers, which are going to be the doors between the 2 of them. And that's what we're planning on doing. So we're just going to cut the last 4 holes. Yeah, so once that's finished, we'll finally be done cutting all the steel. We can move on to framing up the walls. Okay, so we are finally done doing the steel fabrications on the containers. Huge milestone. Been at it for multiple weeks. I don't even know. It's probably been over a month now where we've been cutting holes in it, welding steel frames, and then eventually welding the steel frames back into the container. Been a learning experience and sort of a battle with the wind, especially with the welder. But we're finally to a point now where all the cutting should be done. Let's hope, and it should be finished.
You guys want to take a look?